All right. So I'm just about done with AMD GPUs in general. So for context, I have the Radeon RX 6800, and it has 16 gigabytes of VRAM. All of that. So I have it. That's what I'm using right now. What I got coming in the mail is an RTX 3080. That's what I'm replacing this Radeon GPU with, because using like Radeon, I have so many like issues with like games and even like OBS here. Like OBS was giving me a lot of issues with the AMD GPU, specifically with the hardware encoding. I don't know if I could show you here, but I could show you what happened. If I could show you like what happened with when I turned on hardware encoding, if I can, without ending the recording. This is being annoying. Uh, okay, not okay. I can't do it without ending a recording, but like I have footage that I'll probably splice into here, where when I used hardware encoding, like the video, it had a bunch of artifacts on it, and I recorded like one like clip, like a month or some sort, and it just looked terrible. Another thing is VR. Like, never had this happen with NVIDIA, but when I was using it in VR, like sometimes like it would just like shut like off all of my displays, and I had to restart my computer and then reinstall all the drives. And that was like incredibly annoying because that happens constantly, but not that constantly, but like enough times where I notice it and it gets annoying. And something else is that some games just do not work. Like I tried playing Hatsune Miku, Project Diva Arcade, and it wouldn't work with AMD, even with the community made like patch in order to allow like non NVIDIA GPUs to be used, because it was made for NVIDIA specifically. And so other thing is, despite it being advertised like on the box and stuff, like the ray tracing performance is actually like terrible, which doesn't matter to me much since I wasn't using it much anyway. If it's like advertised like on the box, it should be able to do it at least well enough. So here's another thing: some games just crash like a lot. Like I have like constant crashes with it. And one thing that I do have a lot with the AMD, like I think Adrenaline software, it just sucks. Like they by default turn on a bunch of useless shit, like super sampling, like super resolution FSR, like bullshit, which looks terrible. Like FSR actually looks fucking like terrible. It makes everything like checkerboard. Like makes everything blurry too. Like I don't know what they were thinking. FSR is just garbage. I don't know how people turn on FSR and can honestly say it looks great. I did it in Ratchet and Clank and Tekken 8, and it's awful. Like FSR actually looks off in both of those games. I don't know if it's just those games or like, but it just looks terrible. Like I don't know why they would like advertise it as good. Maybe even DLSS with their fake AI frames. That's also terrible. I've never used it, but I don't trust anything AI frame like bullshit. So yeah, I mean, so it's even worse than when I had the like I bought an Intel GPU right it came out. It was the Arc 380 or 750, one of those two. I forget which one because I returned it. And at least with that, like it was understandable, like it being like the drivers sucking because it's the first like GPU from Intel that's like, physical and so like integrated. So that was understandable that like sucked because it's like their first year and their second gen hasn't come out yet. And you know, I only returned it because it wouldn't work with VR. Like if I wasn't playing VR, then I'd probably still be using the Intel GPU to be honest, because it did perform well in the games I tested with it. But it was better than my previous GPU at that time, which was the NVIDIA GTX 1660 Super. But yeah, another thing that I do, a reason why I got like the NVIDIA RTX 3080. Well, for one, it was 90, still kind of over how old it is, and it was a reasonable price for it. It was only like $340 that I paid. Was the Founders Edition. But and the reason why I also wanted to get it is because of the they have this thing called RTX Video, which like upscales like video files on the GPU itself. And I wanted to try that with like I have a few DVDs that are 16 by 9 HD cartoons, but like they're on DVD because they hate releasing cartoons on. You know, well, I should say like not blue cartoons in general, but like Western like cartoons made for a slightly like younger audience. Because I know adults they release their some of their stuff on Blu-ray, and Netflix they release their stuff on Blu-ray. But like anything else, like I want to get a regular show again, but they only released a volume like they only released one volume on DVD only, and that's it. The whole series isn't on a Blu-ray, which I could understand if it's like a standard definition like cartoon. Like for me personally, I don't see a point in releasing standard definition stuff on Blu-ray. There's really that much. There's not going to be that much of a quality difference. The only thing I could see is you can fit more on one disc. But that's pretty much it. I don't see a point in releasing it on Blu-ray. But like HD cartoons, that should be on Blu-ray, not 4K, because you know, not much. Only like big stuff gets released on 4K anyway. But at least on Blu-ray, it could be released on there. And I will test out. I will actually test out like how it'll compare to it. So what I'm let me think. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna like have it in like my PS2. That's what I use to watch DVDs now. I did fix my Xbox fan, so it doesn't like, be allowed anymore. But I still use the PS2 for DVDs. Remember Orville? So that's an HD show that was on Fox in like 2017, 18, around that time. So I'm gonna put it on my PS2, and then I'm gonna put it in RTX video in order to like compare the quality difference. because I read in the reviews that it's still like 1920 by 1080, which I don't believe, but you know, I that's something to test out. So they only have like season 1 and 2 on DVD anyway. They don't have like the season that was on Hulu. I guess that's more because Hulu's not released their stuff on physical media a lot, if at all. Like I've never seen a Hulu disc. I know Netflix, HBO Max, and Disney Plus. I mean, maybe Amazon Prime does it. I'm not sure. I know those three do it, and Hulu doesn't really do it. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I'm sorry, I went so off topic. Anyway, back to the AMD like debacle, I guess. So I'm probably gonna end up like selling it. I know there's like this site called Jawa that would give you like instant like money for it, but I do not trust like that at all. It's been shilled by a bunch of YouTubers, and I just don't trust that at all. So I'm gonna end up like selling it on eBay on auction, and then I'm gonna use all that money to get more like discs. I also have to like repaste the GPU and like replace the thermal pads because I think the stock ones are notorious for like sucking. So I'm just gonna replace that with the new like pads and thermal paste. Wait, I mean, so I only recommend like AMD stuff if you're like poor. That seems to be like their market is just like poor like Indians. Most of the people I see shill it. Like they value it. They label it as value, and like look how price to performance into this. But that doesn't mean much when there's so many like drive issues, especially when it shuts off displays while you're still using it, which I find to be absolutely terrible. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this